right, chat and people of the YouTubes, we are just going to quickly go over weapons that you can acquire this season or very recently that I think are totally worth hunting down and chasing. There's actually a lot of really good loot this season, a lot of really good weapons. So I'm just going to go over them, go over some of the roles and where to actually get them. So we'll start in the Kinetic slot. Smite of Moraine, all you D1 veterans, D1 alpha vets. You'll know this one. So this is the pulse rifle from the raid. There's a couple pretty decent roles. But I do recommend, I mean, Firefly is always a good perk, but I have crafted a stats for all, one for all, but this comes from King's Fall. So make sure that you select your red border every week and do your King's Falls. Smite is still pretty cool, pretty juicy. I don't know why I have full auto one, but screw it. I like Flared and Magwell as well. This is RNG, but, you know, do your orcs every week if you can get touch. I'm a big fan of touch. I think it's awesome on a warlock and a titan, not so much on a hunter. Good luck. It is a pretty good gun. It does have a charge with blight perk, so it buffs the weapon's damage by 50%. Okay, so let's go over to the energy weapon. So this slot is pretty filled up here. Tarnished Metal. So this is one of the guns that comes from one of the new seasonal activities, whether it be the Expedition or the Catch Crash. And it's going to be pretty much RNG on the drop here. I got super lucky, but what you're really looking for is Volt Shot. I got super lucky and got 4 times the charm as well, which is really good for a precision weapon like a scout rifle. But this thing is cool. Not only do these weapons look dope, but this is a 200 RPM scout. And the fact that you can get Volt Shot on is pretty cool. Volt Shot, I sort of consider it like the arc version of Incandescent or Volatile. It's not quite as good as Volatile. I don't think anything is, but you know, Volt Shot, 4 times the charm, but you're really just looking for Volt Shot there. We'll go over the other weapon from the same seasonal activity, Brigand's Law. As far as sidearms go, it's not too bad. I mean, it's worth picking up if you're kind of a weapon chaser. It is a full auto by default. And once again, you're looking for Volt Shot. I actually love the fact that I got hipfire grip on this thing because I pretty much hipfire sidearms anyway. Sometimes, like, at least on mouse and keyboard, ADSing sidearms just feels weird. It feels like a lot of the bullets just kind of ghost. So grab both of those. Dares. So the BR from Dares, you can get Incandescent on it. You can also craft this and grind this out, but my RNG this season has been nuts, and I was able to get it with Incandescent and Outlaw on it. So this thing is really good, and I recommend, like, any weapon that can roll Incandescent, get it. Similarly, the Staccato. This is a world drop, but there is a trick. You can kind of farm it, right? So what you do is you don't turn in any of your umbral engrams. You come to the star chart this season. Yes. Yes. And then you head over to this page and you turn in your umbrals with legendary shards to the engram that contains a Suros weapon right here. And every umbral, just turn it into here. I think there's 3 weapons that can drop here. So your chances of getting the Staccato Scout are actually pretty good. It is also a world drop, so it will drop for you as you play the game. But once again, you just want Incandescent on this thing. In my opinion, it's a 180 scout. It's really good. This is actually one of the guns I might have with me for day 1 raids because it does feel good, sort of like medium to close range as well as long distance. Another one with Incandescent, the Amit AR2. So this is a world drop. You can also get it by going to the Enclave and doing the quest. It will give you like a red border craftable weapon. I crafted mine with Incandescent and stats for all. You could keep going and do the enhanced perks. I just didn't feel like leveling this one up, but right here I think this perk is great. Stats for all also does proc off of the explosion from Incandescent, as far as I know. If something changes by the time this video goes live, don't crucify me for it, but this is a pretty good roll. Incandescent on an AR. Another one with Dares is the Retrace Path. To my understanding, Incandescent on Dare's solar weapons is new to this season as well. RNG again has blessed me with the Subsistence Incandescent roll, but you can get Feeding Frenzy. This thing is actually fantastic, and I don't really use trace rifles, but I use this for like a day and racked up a couple 100 kills on it. But this thing is really good. Incandescent, you can tell that I'm a fan. If we head over to Gambit, I know, everyone's favorite activity. RNG once again. I played one Gambit match this season, and I got the yesteryear pulse rifle, which is a 390 RPM pulse rifle. I got it with Outlaw and Desperado with a reload and ricochet rounds or flared magwell. I mean, I can't believe my RNG, man. It's insane. So you want to hunt for pretty much this exact role in Gambit, but Desperado, I think, is the key here. And then back to King's Fall. I'm not the biggest fan of Midas Reckoning. It's a very slow, hard-hitting fusion rifle. I tend not to like the fusion rifles that take forever to charge up. But if you're going to look for this rifle, fusion rifle, or craft it, I think this is a pretty good roll right here. Reservoir burst and backup plan. It's basically going to buff your first shot out the wazoo. You know, this one is just kind of here to fill up a slot. I am not the hugest fan, but maybe you are, so look for something similar. This thing right here, this is what I recommend to be the first weapon that you can actually craft. Funny enough, I didn't have to craft it because I just got the God roll dropped to me, RNG. This is what you want right here. You want explosive payload. You want incandescent, so you're just doing a lot of AoE and explosive and burn damage and dot damage. You want flared magwell and a reload masterwork. I do really love this gun. I think this game needs some more solar legendary hand cannons, and this one kind of fills that spot because I hate the Garden of Salvation hand cannon. But as far as solar hand cannons go, legendary, this thing is a gem. And there's a bunch of really good Doom rolls. Also the Scout rifle from King's Fall. So all these weapons come from King's Fall that you're looking at here. There's Frenzy, explosive payload. I wasn't able to, because I don't have any more slots here, but I have a Firefly. It can roll Dragonfly, and it can also roll, what is it called? It can roll adaptive munitions. Which is, if you don't have a gun with adaptive munitions, definitely keep it. That perk is super underrated and is really good for like end game content with match game and, you know, any content with shields, because adaptive munitions basically makes it so that you don't have to worry about what burn it is. So there's a lot of really good rolls for this. It's kind of all preference what you're looking for. I just kept like 2 or 3. I might craft one in the future. And it looks like everything here is covered. And then heavies. So the first thing is, once again, the quest in the Enclave. If you're wondering what the Enclave is, destination, Savathan's Throne World, head over here. There is a quest down at the crafting table, which is how I was able to get the Amit and the Taipan. Taipan has kind of like been pretty well known. This one I just started leveling up, so there's no perks on it yet. But there's a couple rolls here that you're looking for. Triple tap and firing line would be the best for team play. Triple tap and focus fury is a really good solo play weapon. That's what I'm gonna make this one triple tap firing line, and then I'm gonna make this one triple tap focus fury. And the reason why this is such a talked about weapon is because it has the Vice Stinger perk on it. So this has a chance to just reload your magazine while you're shooting. So you can actually get super lucky, for example, during the Oryx encounter, and just never have to reload and constantly fire and get ammunition and the buff from firing line or focus fury. The linear fusion from the new Catch Crash or Expedition activity. These are the 2 that I have found. Just an RNG drop here. Frenzy Clown Cartridge is actually pretty good, and it's nice to have another arc linear fusion that isn't Storm Chaser. Storm Chaser is nice, but it does have its, you know, cons as well. Particularly, it's horrible at range, so this will cover that. Then I'm also keeping Volt Shot. Even though you're not, like, your linear fusion is going to be for bossing, it's still, you know, why not keep one with Volt Shot and Rapid Hit? Pretty much a god roll there. But there's a couple rolls that you could look for here. And then the final weapon that I want to talk about is Quillem's Terminus. I love this machine gun. I'm not even a big fan of 360 RPM machine guns, and I don't know if this is just me being nostalgic because I loved the machine gun in D1, but I think this machine gun feels really good. Unfortunately, I don't have a great roll, but as you can see, it can roll with killing tally, and I'm not even sure what else can roll here, but Dynamic Sway is kind of trash, so I'm sure you can do better than that. But, you know, this machine gun, even without any perks at all, is still a really good machine gun. It is stasis in Destiny 2, and I'm a big fan. So, yeah, keep an eye out. These are just my suggestions for weapons. A lot of these you can hunt down. A lot of them are very, they drop pretty heavily in the raid, plus you can hunt down the red borders. So, yeah, have fun. Happy hunting, my friends.